Cool. All right. So, last time feels like ages ago for me, but this was where the second part of the exploration into the ruins outside Farhaven, you found that the Feingold group had been kidnapped and you were ambushed as you went in to try and rescue them. You learned that Harland, the leader of the group, the father of Gemma, had been killed, but luckily you were able to kill the assassin as she's trying to escape and free the rest of the Feingolds, and so it went relatively okay, all things considered. Began travelling back to Valmerial, big city. Along the way, Kai tried to cure Valoran's blindness. Was unsuccessful, kind of realising that he probably needs stronger magic, but did have an encounter with his moon goddess again, who was sort of consoling you and recognising that you're starting to become potentially concerningly consumed with vengeance and was trying to push you towards a brighter path. Eventually made your way to Valmerial itself, and into the city. And this city is unlike anything that we've seen so far. It is a city of old. This is one of the ancient kingdoms. Massive streets. The architecture here kind of lends itself to stuff that might have been built hundreds and hundreds, if not 1,000 years ago. There are ginormous structures like Valina's Bridge that goes over top of the river that bisects the city. And in the distance, as you were sort of traveling through, you could see 4 main structures that sort of divides the city into these long channels. There's I believe Gemma was sort of pointing stuff out to you. There's the bastion that's on the military way. There's the keep itself in the royal way. And then over on so this is on the western side of the river. On the eastern side of the river, there is this high sept, which Kai learned about as he was asking a few people in the tavern. And there is the Theatre of Dreams, the 4th sort of megastructure in the city. And along each of these sort of so these structures are sort of at the northern end of the city, up the river, away from the coast. And along each sort of channel, there is a way, a main sort of thoroughfare, main street. The military way, the royal way, the divine way, and the artisan way. And these sort of lead itself to divide the city up into their general sort of, the general places that people live and congregate depending on sort of, their roles and stuff like that in the city. Gemma and the Feingolds took you to a tavern called River's Watch, which is down near the opening of the river into the coast. It's quite a nice tavern, not super high class, but it's very, very tidy, very sort of well put together, and it looks out over the river itself and giving quite a beautiful view. You met a few of the people there in the tavern and spent the night. That night, I guess, as you were just getting ready for sleep, an arrow was shot into your room with a note, and the note said, "Meet at Muriel's Rest tomorrow midnight, a friend." And then that evening, Kai had another visitation, this time more ominous and darker. Another being seems to have caught your attention, or rather has gained its attention on you, and was trying to convince you to maybe lean into your slightly darker tendencies and push you towards vengeance. Upon waking up, you found that the normal silvery, starry symbols that spread across your arms on your left arm, they'd turned black and were black all the way up to your shoulder. That morning, Leah was retrieved by a member of the Order of the Ravens, a man called Gideon, half-elf. Erendor either recognised directly or at least had heard by reputation of Gideon. He's got a big scar from his left eye all the way down to his chin, and she took her leave. She left the party behind, went with Gideon for whatever purpose, whatever job they needed for her. And as she was leaving, Erendor gave her the dagger of warning as sort of a parting gift, or some way of trying to keep her safe or something. And that's basically where we're picking up that morning in River's Watch. I guess I'll start by saying, not long after Leah has left and you're pondering things, Gemma comes down the stairs. The footsteps come down and look up. She's wearing now a softer sort of black dress. She's, often she's been in traveling leathers, that sort of thing, quite practical clothing, but now she looks like she's taken a bit of time for herself, and has dressed up in a black dress and come down looking distant, and she acknowledges you, walks past and stands at one of the large windows that stares out into the river, stands there looking out. And with that, I will open it up to you guys, whatever you feel like doing.
Alrighty. I walk up to Gemma and put my hand on her shoulder and tell her
She looks at you and smiles.
It'll take time, but time will heal the pain.
I hope so. I hadn't allowed myself much time to think about it until last night. The last time I was here in this tavern, my father was talking about retiring and handing over the business to me. You know that. What a strange turn of events.
Yeah, things didn't turn out what we expected.
I think he finally wanted to settle down somewhere, He's been kind of pushing me out in front of our business dealings for a while. I think ever since my mother was killed, his heart, stopped being in it.
I don't know. Ever since your father has passed, I think you have an even bigger stake at getting back at, the Empire. How do you feel about that?
Let's just say my resolve probably has never been stronger. I guess I need a bit of time to think about it. Probably not do anything too rash, but...
Yeah, think about it, because was there any reason for the Empire to kill your father?
Not that I'm aware of. She looks a little bit sheepish. I assume they were just trying to get to you and your group. We might have just been caught in the crossfire.
Maybe not. I'm not too sure. We hid our tracks pretty well, I believe, because we didn't find anyone particularly following us or our movements. But maybe go through your father's possessions. You may have some things that you might need to go through for some clues potentially, and I'll check in with the group and see if there's any loose ends on our end as well.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, sounds good. Anyway, I have a few errands to run today. Let me know if there's anything I can do for you, yeah?
Sure. Take care of yourself.
She turns and slowly makes her way out of the tavern. Unless anyone wants to grab her on her way out, she leaves you to your thoughts.
Walk back to Erendor, Vale, and everybody, and go. She's still mourning for the loss of her father. Anyway, anything you guys want to do this morning?
Equipment and information are probably what we need right now. And probably a low profile given the amount of troops and heat going on out there right now.
That's a good point. Good point. How about is the barmaid around?
Okay, one sec.
Yeah, she is. She's up kind of early, getting things ready for the day.
I wave her down.
Cool. She gracefully wanders over. This is Lila Spring that you had met the night before.
Hey Lila, where would we go? We're new to the city. Where would we go to find some good places for equipment and shopping?
Let me find a dice. Sorry, 1 second. Oh shit. She smiles at you. She's very welcoming and good to happy to see you in the morning. And she says to you, I mean, it's not really something that I usually go looking for myself, but I've heard some people talk about the Silver Forge. It's up in towards the Artisan Way. Might have some luck there. I mean, if you're after some nice, very, very sort of ornate weapons and armor, that'll probably be the place to go.
Oh, that sounds good. That sounds great. Any chance there's a green griffin around here also?
Oh yeah, no, that I do know. They're over quite near the western entrance to the city, near on the military way.
Okay. So it's like in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
All right.
Head back over the bridge.
Good to know. Anything we should keep our heads out for just in case to keep us out of trouble?
Well, it depends if you're looking for trouble or not.
No. We're never looking for trouble.
Fair
Guys
enough.
like us, we just want simple work, a bit of adventuring, a bit of drinks.
Yeah.
Simple life.
What sort of adventuring do you
Trouble-free.
do? Yeah, are you mercenaries?
We're mercenaries. We take care of the monsters in the dark and keep places like this safe. When soldiers aren't able to take care of all the jobs, we take up certain jobs if they're to our favor.
She feigns like a little bit of like, ooh, monsters. Oh, I'm glad to have you around. Yeah, well, very good. Well, I guess just depending on sort of how you're feeling about certain political events, maybe it's worthwhile keeping your head down. There have been a bit of noise around the city lately. I think groups of people whispering together and carousing around the downfall of the empire and whatnot. I try to just keep out of all of that, but you never know. You never know what might happen. It always feels like violence is ready to brew and bounce and pop at a moment's notice.
Well, thank you for your time. And good morning to you. I think we'll head out this morning and have a look around.
Excellent. Well, I hope you enjoy the city. It's beautiful this time of the year.
Oh, okay. Good time. Good to know. Good to know. Then I head back to... Oh, we're at the table, right? Over there and everybody.
Sure. Yeah, she'd wandered over. She's chatting to you.
All right. I get up. I go and I look at everybody and go, I'm keen to do a little bit of shopping. Anyone else keen to do anything else?
You know, I do need a new dagger now.
Ah, good point. Is that what you gave to our young friend here that we delivered?
It is indeed. She seemed quite interested in it. Maybe
seems-
we'll keep her safe.
Right. Sounds like you've taken quite a liking to her.
I just don't want to see the little ones harmed any more than they already have been.
That's a good point. Very good point. Since she's an orphan and all. All right, let's go and see if we can find you a good dagger.
Alrighty then. So as that first point of call, we're going to head out towards Silver Forge.
Sounds good.
Alrighty.
Keep an eye out on the way for someone who sells cloaks with hoods.
Cloaks with hoods. Is the Silver Forge the artesian way?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it artisan way or artesian?
I would probably say artisan way. But if you think artesian way sounds better, then I'm down with it as well.
I don't care.
Artesian
Yeah.
would be an aqueduct.
Yeah, because I was wondering because we're like near water, you know, like it's like near the river. Like I was like not unsure. Was unsure.
Yeah. I imagine it's the part of the city where the high and the fine arts are located. This would be where you'd find a lot of fancy clothing, but art store and musicians, and the theatre itself is here, sort of like the crown of the place.
What direction is that from the inn that we're at?
Yeah, so I guess Lila would mention to you the best way to go would be to follow the river up north to Valina's Bridge, and then carry along the main road to the east. You'll pass the Divine Way as the first one, and then the Artisan Way is the next one along towards the eastern edge of the city. So, we can head on out. Heading back up along the river, you'll need to pass through the river market again. This is the very, very large sort of central market area of the city. These are the stalls, like not permanent shops necessarily, but places that people will chuck up quick little stalls. It's almost become a permanent market in some sense, even though the actual individual stores themselves come and go. Here on this side, there's all sorts of people selling whatever, trying to like call out to you to, buy the odd random trinkets or sell you like food or fresh catched fish from the morning, freshly caught fish from the morning. And across the river on the other side, on the western bank, you can also see another similar market. It's like the market here has almost been bisected by the city. Yeah. Pass on through. Yeah. Sorry.
As we're passing on through, I'd like to mimic I like to mimic Erendor in his stealthy ways and try and blend into the crowd.
Okay. How stealthy are you trying to be? Like you're trying to
I'm trying to not draw attention to
encourage
myself,
people.
but stealthy in a way that's not too. Yeah. Do I need to roll a dexterity or a stealth check?
Yeah. Why don't we do a group stealth check? Oh, and by the way, I should say while you guys are doing that, let's say that Rio and Donda have kind of other errands to do today. They mentioned to you, I need to go and I need to replace some magical supplies. And Rio's talking about tuning up his bow or something or other to try and find some boa to help something.
Gotta be. It's this armor, I swear. This hide armor is rust. Oh my god.
All right.
Oh, just before we
wait.
head out, checked everyone's gear. 8 temporary hit points. Start of the day.
Yep.
So what I'm going to say at this point is, even if I hadn't rolled a 24, they're not going to be seeing me. They're just going to be seeing you two.
Yeah. Well, just with that, since I am exhausted, how does that work, Riv?
You are exhausted, aren't you? I think first level exhaustion will be disadvantage on your ability
So
check.
should I re-roll at disadvantage?
I'm surprised
even though it's a 3?
it didn't automatically do it for you.
No. Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
You should be able to add it onto your sheet. Oh yeah, so directly to the left of your level, the number 14, there are 3 dots. Sorry, not your level, your AC.
My level, my AC.
Sorry, yeah, your AC. Click the first dot. It'll add exhaustion level 1 for you.
Wait. I don't know where. Oh, yeah, 3 dots. Oh, okay, 4. Oh, yeah, they're black dots. Okay. And do I just re-roll again?
Yeah, why not? Let's see if you can get lower than a 3.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Look at that. I'm
It's
just
meant
as
to
good as I am meant to be. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you start passing through the markets, and
Everyone
Erendor
notices me.
Yeah. Erendor's used to the crowd, so he's sort of like slipping in. He's sort of like gracefully blending in with a crowd of people over here. That crowd might move over to the next stall, and he's just sort of wandering behind them, making it seem like he's part of their group. And then as you pass through, he'll slide on past quite neatly. The two of you guys are, let's say, less familiar maybe with crowds, and you're sort of plonking your way on through.
I am parting the way.
Yep. You're
Yep. You know what? I noticed this, and I just put my hand on Valerian's shoulder and was like, you know what, buddy? Screw this.
yeah. Pushing your way through. You got no time for these fools mulling around in the market.
Yeah. But
yeah.
while I'm doing that, I'm just looking over my shoulders and checking around for any eyes that seem out of place, that are looking at us as we're making a big ruckus pushing through the crowd.
Yeah, roll a perception check.
This I can do.
Yeah.
Nat one.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I mean, people notice you coming through. Mercenaries or warriors or fighters or whatever. No, it's not necessarily a sight that you wouldn't see very often in a city like this. So people definitely notice you, but it's not like they're sort of gawking and being like, oh, that looks suspicious. People come and go, especially in a market like this. You'll see people from all corners of the land here, trying to trade and get their bargains and whatnot. However, with a 23, you do actually hear something. You hear as you're wandering past a fish stall. There's a few barrels out the front with some fresh fish. You hear two people that are standing beside, at the front, looking like they may be going to buy something. One of them leans over to the other and just sort of mentions, "Oh man, do you hear about the gathering at the Serenity Plaza this afternoon?" The other one says, "No. Is it? He's like, yeah. It looks like they're getting serious about it this time." And then you're kind of wandering past, the conversation dies out behind you.
I nudge Valerian and go, "You hear that?" Or I'll just say, I just heard something's going down at the plaza later this afternoon. Might want to check it out.
If we've heard it, then the ears of the Empire have already heard it.
Ah, yeah. Good point. How
Probably
about-
worth seeing, but probably not worth getting involved too deep.
You've got the wise mind. Yeah, let's go with that.
Cool. Pushing your way
And
through.
that's 9 temporary hit points because gone up a level.
Oh, okay.
Pushing your way through the out of the market, up past the northern end, and up ahead of you can see the massive structure of the bridge that spans across the river. The river itself is probably a good 200 or 300 feet wide, easily enough for two ships to pass each other in opposite directions. And the bridge itself, this massive construction, has got two large archways, and with pillars, obviously separating them. And the archways neatly separate the flow of traffic of ships that are commonly seen going up and down the river. And yeah, eventually making your way to the base of the bridge, and you can hang a right and head along the road to the east. You'll pass through the Divine Way. If you look up and down, you can see older looking buildings, I guess, more made out of marbles and sort of like Gothic architecture on some of the buildings here and there. Looks like there's a few smaller sort of maybe private cathedrals or churches or something like that, but all of them are overshadowed by, at the very, very end of this road, built up on a hill, is just a massive structure. It looks like a circular, sort of like a Colosseum, made of stone, maybe 100 feet tall, a couple of 100 feet wide, and out the front of it is, from this distance, probably can't quite make out, but it looks like there are some statues sort of surrounding the front area of the high sept. But passing on through, making your way to the Artisan Way, and immediately the sort of energy changes a little bit into more upper class part of the city. There are people are dressed more, finely. They've got an air of authority about them potentially. Here and there, you'll see people. There's maybe like a a busker or something like that set up playing some music. So it looks like, you've got the, what would you say, like the tortured artist who's trying to make his way in the artisan area, and then you've got the high class, I'm too good for these people, I like fine art and random splashes of paint on blank canvases, people dressed in clothes that are way too expensive for what they can probably afford. Big mixture of these sort of people. But
Same as it's the yuppie part of town.
yeah, it's an odd mixture. Yeah, but making your way up, fairly obviously about halfway up the artisan way towards this another grand building at the end, which you assume would be the theatre of dreams. You can see, roughly we pointed out, the telltale sign of an armory. There's it's a building that it looks like probably not like any armory you've ever seen, to be honest. Most armories are, rugged sort of buildings that look like they're practical and made for churning out weapons of death and protection. This is very fancy. It's made of like polished silver wood, painted almost like to the point of being gilded, so it's a little bit shiny. Really big fancy silver sign hanging out the front. And yeah, you see someone coming out as you're getting closer who is like, he's not even dressed in armor, he's dressed in just like sort of noble's clothes, a really nice like vest, and he's carrying in and just inspecting a long rapier that is ornate. It's got like a jewel encrusted and embedded at the pommel, sort of just smiling to himself as he wanders out past you. But here you go, you've made it to the Silver Forge, and you can head on in if you wish.
I'm already slightly shaking my head, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
As you get inside,
Wait. Before we enter, can I cast... I'd like to pull Valerian aside, and I go, I know you're really good at talking, and you may be able to get us good deals, so I cast Enhance Ability on Valerian for Eagle's Splendor.
all right. Well, the inside is not that much different from the outside, to be honest. If you're expecting maybe just a veneer on the outside that hides away some good, honest work on the inside, you would be mistaken. The inside is also very, very well put together. Everything's in its correct place. There are big silver, well, not silver, it's like big, long parchment banners, I guess you'd say, like hanging on either side of the wall with silver drawn images of weapons and swords and scribblings underneath outlining the different constructions that you could order and things like that. Along the front there are big glass display cabinets with all manner of very finely crafted weapons and armor, and so those display cabinets are along the front of the main sort of counter workbench area, and behind you can see three people sort of frantically sort of wandering around doing a bit of work out the back of the sort of main workshop area, and there is one person up the front who doesn't seem to be working as hard as the rest of them, and as you wander in you see the head sort of turns in your direction. This is a half elf with long, you guessed it, silver hair, perfect makeup on this half elf man's face, with these like silver eyeshadow that like covers the top and kind of ends in these little spirals off to the side of his face. It's got a long apron that covers nice clothes. The apron has some smudges of soot and whatnot on it, but the clothes themselves looks like he's put a lot of effort to try and keep clean. And as he sort of turns his head in your direction, he takes in what you're wearing. You see his nose just sort of wrinkle a little bit, and he wanders over and just kind of, yes, can I help you?
Just separate, I've got to say it, that accent then. Perfect. After a dagger. Simple as that.
Is it?
Yep.
What kind of dagger?
Something decent. I don't really care.
All right,
mean,
well, I need a bit more direction, darling. Do you want some inlaid gold in the hilt? Any sort of gemstone embedded in the pommel? What would you like the blade made out of?
See, now, your decoration doesn't really impress me. All I'm after is something functional.
Functional.
That's it?
Curious. As in... Wait, you don't actually intend to use it, do you?
I look at Erendor and I start chuckling.
What else would it be for?
I chime in for cutting up the finest steaks that Erendor always consumes.
Funny. Well, I guess there are some potentially already pre-prepared daggers that you could look at. Any of these take your fancy? Any gestures to a cabinet off to the side? And yeah, this is a cabinet with some already pre-made short weapons. So there are a few short swords in here, a few daggers. The daggers themselves are a very, very finely crafted mixture of like rosewood hilts, spirals of like silver or gold that sort of run up the hilt. The plainest looking one probably doesn't have a embedded gold or any gems or anything like that, but the hilt itself has got some like carved designs into the wood, and the blade is like polished to a sheen. The crossguard of the dagger itself is like two little like spirals that sort of cross over each other and then terminate in points that point up in the direction of the blade itself. Certainly looks like a nice dagger, nicer than you've probably ever used. Well, I guess your dagger of ravens was pretty nice as well, to be fair. But... And he kind of, as he's gesturing over here, he's like, would any of these take your fancy?
Well, I mean, quite simply, the fact you had to ask if it was going to be used tells me these probably aren't going to be suitable.
Oh, I assure you, they are of the finest craft and hold up under any scrutiny. Yeah, I guess, Valerian, why don't you roll me like a, I don't know, investigation or something with advantage.
No. That was a 4. Only when you shift, it doesn't do.
Yeah, I guess from the distance you haven't got a really, really good look, but just kind of glancing around, you've got a keen eye for weapons. You've lived your whole life with them, or it feels like you have at least, and you get the feeling that while they may look nice, they might not be the best at holding up in combat, shall we say.
Any scrutiny, you say?
Why, of course.
Do you care to put that to the test?
How do you mean?
Simple. Steel sharpens steel.
What do you mean? You want to actually like test one of them out in the store right now?
What good is a tool if it's not used?
I'm sorry, but you would have to buy one and take it outside before I would allow you to actually use the thing. This store is not a place for swinging weapons and trying to cause injury to one another. No, what would the rest of my clients say?
Well, when your weapons fail and they're bleeding on the ground, I would imagine they would have a few choice curse words.
My good sir, I can assure you I have never had a single client come and tell me that one of their weapons has malfunctioned.
That's because they're dead.
Can I insight check him?
Yeah, go for it. Damn, you've got good insight.
I know.
He seems like he's kind of telling the truth. Or, shall we say, he's not lying to you.
All right.
Now, if you wanted to buy this dagger, darling, he turns back to you, Mirandor. these ones over here, 50 gold each. And this one here at the end that I noticed you looking at, that one I could do for you for maybe about 30 gold.
Quite simply, the fact you're not willing to have a proper inspection of the blade's quality, I think that tells us all we need to know, and we'll take our business elsewhere.
Yeah, fair enough. It's your loss. And what about the rest of you? Anything I can tempt you with?
I pipe up and I go, do you have any simple, regular use cattle whips to herd like sheep and cattle with? No kinky business.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's absolutely hilarious, darling. Wait, you're serious?
Yeah.
Oh, my dear. I'm afraid you might be in the wrong place.
Just look at me. I'm dressed in hides.
Yes, I see that.
Well, if you haven't got anything suitable, would you mind pointing us in an establishment that is suitable for items that I may require?
While is talking with Kai, I would like to have a look around and see if there is any daggers or anything like that that are not like behind glass or locked away anywhere.
The only dagger you can probably see, make a perception, or yeah, it would have to be a perception check. Oh wow, look at that. Oh, by the way, I think you've got your skill checks on private mode or GM mode.
Oh,
Because everyone else can probably see that saying privately, right?
Yeah, it's private.
Oops.
Good. I could make it public. Here we go.
DM Death Mouse.
Cool. So, yeah. The only weapons you can see that are not behind glass are ones that are either currently being worked on. Wait, Rio's in here. What is JC doing? You must be watching the stream or something. There are some daggers back behind the in the workshop area that might be currently being worked on. One's like sort of held together with like some in like a winch or something like that. But no, anything that looks like a completed dagger has been locked behind glass. Did he DM me? Oh, he did. Yeah, sorry, dude. I don't get notifications on Discord when I'm streaming, so I didn't see your thing. Sorry. I mean, stick around. It's all good.
Well,
yeah.
Never mind then. In that case,
All right. And to Kai, sorry, you remind me what was.
I was asking this fine half-elven gentleman,
Yeah.
blacksmith of an establishment that would
if
have
there's somewhere else. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he turns to you and just sort of raises an eyebrow. Now, why would I send you to one of my competitors?
Well, you would, because you don't have anything that I could purchase that I require, as per se, a whip of sorts for livestock.
Make a persuasion check. See if you can convince him.
Roll high, roll high.
Well, I'm not going to tell you exactly where to go, but maybe if you looked around somewhere in the military quarter, I'm sure you could find somewhere in that part of the city that might more suit the needs of yourself and your companions.
I nod, and I look at the crew and go, we just happen to need to go to the military court. I think that's where the Green Griffin is located.
Indeed it is, and I'm sure they would be most glad to see you.
Yeah, they love us.
I'm sure. Is there anything else I can do for you?
For me, no. My other party members, not too sure. But yeah.
One thing I suppose you can have a look at. You obviously treat weapons as more of an art than a function. You happen to be a historian? Or a student of craftsman marks?
I would fancy myself somewhat. I've seen my fair share of excellent crafted weapons and have even made some renowned of my own that I'm sure people will talk about for generations. Why, what can I help you with?
I'll unbutton the little bag on my belt and pull out a giant greatsword from it.
You just like pull it out slowly, like, you know, meter by meter, just slowly sliding out of nowhere.
Just slam it on the table.
And his eyebrows rise, but he doesn't. He's not too shocked. He's wealthy. He's been around. He's seen bags of holding before. But he does have a bit of a smile, like, well, maybe I did misjudge these people. Maybe, you know. Anyway, you bring it forward. So he picks it up.
Covered this on a little adventure down south. The previous owner obviously didn't have the armor to carry what he was carrying.
Down south, you say? Picks it up.
I
Turns
point
it over.
out the V, I believe that was on it.
Slides the scabbard down a bit, and yeah, it sees the V. Curious. Very nice.
Assuming either a maker's or a owner's mark, obviously custom work.
He's heard of this sort of craftsmanship. He's kind of looking over. You can see the gears turning in his mind. I have to say, it seems like the way that they folded the steel here on at the base of the hilt and the blood grooves up either side of the middle. It looks very much like the work of the Northerners. I would not be surprised if this sword was forged in Valoran itself, or if not there, then potentially one of the nearby cities. But it has all the classic trappings of Northern steelcraft.
Been a long journey then.
It's a very, very nice bit. Could I possibly take it off your hands?
I wouldn't have thought it'd be fancy enough for your work.
I'm sure it could be cleaned up.
I might hold on to it for a moment. You never know when it can come in handy.
Very well.
At the very least, it'll get put to work.
He takes their slight and just smiles gently, handing it back to you, Hilt first.
Just looking this guy over, his hands, are they work hands? Or is he obviously a front of houseman?
His apron has some stuff on it, so he's been doing a bit of work, but you can tell by the people sort of furiously working away behind him that he doesn't get involved that much. Like he must do some work if he has the knowledge and the reputation of the clientele around the area. He must know his way around the forge, but clearly he's not like sitting back behind a forge, sweating away, banging a hammer all day, every day. Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, maybe we can find some more practical items. Appreciate the time, and I'll flip him a gold piece just as like a little bit of an insult.
He catches it.
For the information.
Charmed, I'm sure. Well, I wish you best of luck for the rest of your shopping adventures. Hope you find something to, I don't know what you said, whip some livestock with. Yes, indeed. And you can head out, unless there's any other business you have.
As we walk out the door, I would like to just dip my hand into the bag of ball bearings that I have.
Yeah.
grab like 30 or so,
Okay.
scatter them into the store.
Are you doing it stealthily, or you just like toss them over your shoulder?
Just toss them over my shoulder, try and spread them a good distance. Just so someone has to go pick them up.
What do you do? Excuse me, don't.
And just
please.
keep walking.
Wait. You hear some footsteps. Come back. No, you dropped something. You need to. And the voice fades out behind you as you're wandering away. Excellent. All right. Well, potentially, not quite what you're looking for. Unfortunately, Gemma rolled. Or who was it? It was Lila. Had been given some bad information. But there you go. Where to next?
You got it.
Nice enough work for people that don't know what they're doing with it. Something a bit more stable. Onwards to the military quarter.
Yeah, I'll race you. Let's run it. Let's leg it.
Running. I would like to find somewhere on the way that sells a good quality cloak and a good quality scarf.
Oh yeah, do we see anything? Any shops in this not entertainment corner, artisan corner?
Yeah, definitely.
Like a general shop?
Yeah, I mean, up and down the street, you'll find all manner of clothing stores. They're fairly common here. Anywhere from high-end stuff to anywhere from, down to sort of middle of the range. There wouldn't be any sort of like really sort of crummy stuff here, but you'll be able to find what you're looking for. So let's, why don't we just hand wave that and say that you can, depending on how nice do you want to buy? Like, do you want to buy really fancy stuff or just sort of practical, does the job and sort of blends in?
Not fancy, but good quality.
Yep. All right. Cool. So for a really, really practical cloak that's going to do the job, that'll just be 2 gold. Keep you nice and warm. Nothing too fancy.
I'll get him to throw in a scarf as well.
Yeah, he'll do that for free.
And I'll pull the hood up because it's getting cold and that's a good way to not ninja up my face so it's obvious I'm trying to hide, but be less obvious walking around with a very identifiable head.
Yeah.
The people that would be looking for it.
Yeah. Nice. Did anyone else want clothes? Nope. All good.
Don't think so.
Alrighty. Cool. Is JC back? I'm just curious if
I think he said he can listen
Yeah.
and type, but no chats.
all good. We'll see how we go. Alrighty. Making your way back across the city. To get to the military way, you're going to have to cross over the bridge. And on this fine morning, sun is out. Just as you're coming over the bridge now, looking down the river towards the coast, the sun is at the right angle for the ripples of the water to shine and reflect the light of the sun, looking like little gems just sort of all the way out into the harbour. From here, up on the bridge now, looking out, paying a bit more attention, you can see there are docks on either side of the river, to the left and the right. From where you're looking down, I guess on the western shore of the coast, it looks like just docked ships, like dozens, if not hundreds, of ships docked up there. On the left, it looks like ships are being built. There are like the skeletons of ships going up. There are a few ships that looks like they've been hauled up onto big hoists and are being repaired. Some new masts going up, all sorts of things like that. And yeah.
So
Carrying
it's
on.
like a dry dock,
Seems like it, yeah. Like a if not a shipyard itself, or at least the place where people would come to get their new ships built or repaired. Carrying on over, you can pass on down along the same thoroughfare, past the Royal Way, and then eventually make your way to the military way. Once again, these are well indicated by stone pillars at each crossroad, at each major crossroad. They have got engraved signage on some of the stones. So where were we looking? Were we wanting to go to Green Griffin now, or did you want to go to a new armory or look around for a new armory?
I think the Griffins first, because they'll be able to point us in the way of.
That's true.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Do I notice an increased build-up of military personnel in the military way as we compared to coming from the forge, the Silver Forge?
Yeah. So there is military presence in the city for sure. You have even seen a red cloak wandering around at some point. There are groups of guards that wander past. They're not outright accosting civilians, but they are making their presence known. A big city like this, probably going to be a bit more difficult than somewhere smaller like Farhaven or Kamar, like truly locked down. And, well, I guess you're not really sure the political situation of this city at the moment. But you can probably surmise it's kind of different. A large central power like this than a small town that the Empire can kind of just like stamp its boot on without really any care of the people. But yeah, there's definitely military presence kind of scattered all over. As you were kind of moving down along the city, you would have passed through the Royal Way. A lot more sort of noble people here. The houses built along here, you can imagine, are like quite nice colonial wood houses are here and there. There's a few really nice stone houses. The people are wearing, robes or well put together dartlets, things like that. But yeah, and then as you get towards the military quarter or the military way, more sort of working people, uptick in the number of guards and city soldiers that you see. And yeah, I guess just more general, like hardier looking people down the center of the city. Yeah.
People like us, more people.
Yeah, I guess so. Great. Well, you made it. You made it to the military way. I guess if you want to look for the Griffins, why don't you guys make a investigation check or something, or tell me some other way how you'll try and find them.
I look up. Oh yeah, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm sure they would have a big banner on their building.
I remember that the Green Griffin in Kamar had a big ass stone griffin statue thingy on their building. I wonder if it's the same here.
Cool. So you're just gonna wander up the street.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah.
So
I mean,
headquarters for a mercenary company. They want people to find them. They're not going to be hidden.
Yeah, it should
Fair
be
enough.
easy to find, I believe.
are you going to go left or right? Left being down towards the ocean, and right being up towards the bastion.
Towards the ocean, I believe. I have a inkling that'd be close to transport, and the sea is good transport.
Yeah. All right. Excellent. So you start heading down the military way towards the coast. This is the first time you've actually started heading too far down the coast other than along the river past through the market. And you notice something kind of interesting. So the ways are dominated by their main sort of jewel building at the top. The further away you get from it, the more sort of, I don't want to say like downtrodden, but the city becomes less well kept. There's more, there's beggars here now. It looks like there's more sort of subtle discussions happening. There's people glancing at you from alleys.
Oh shit!
It just
I think
seems
we
like
took
the
wrong turn.
I mean, you're still on the main road, so it's not like you're down a dark alleyway somewhere here. But you can just kind of tell the population down this end is a bit more rugged. Someone please make a perception check for me as you're keeping an eye out.
Yep, I've got that.
Oh yeah,
Oof.
there he is. So you make your way down about a third of the way, and no griffin signage to be seen. However, you do see another location that appears to be some kind of armory. You can hear ringing ting ting from inside the building over there to your left, and out the front there's like a hanging wooden sign that's just sort of like loosely attached on a couple of rusted chains. Almost looks like it might just be about to like break
Perfect.
off. The wood itself is sort of like getting a little bit rotted, and the signage you can barely make out. It says the coal.
I'll look at the building. I nod to Arendelle. Functional, hey?
Perfect.
Yeah.
If a place looks like that and is still open, there's a reason.
All right. Heading on in?
Yep.
How long has my spell for thing? Has it been an hour already?
For the Evil Splendor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big city. I would say, if not already dropped off, it's very, very close to being dropped off.
All right, no problem.
Yeah, I would say it's probably dropped off, to be honest, after, you're kind of looking around a bit. JC, are you with the party? I had mentioned at the beginning that Rio had gone off to do his own errands or something like that. But if you want to be with the party, you can be with the party. You can teleport and you're with us. But yeah, anyway, making your way inside, the sound of steel being beaten getting louder and louder as you get inside. Inside is rustic. There are functional and practical looking weapons hanging. There are, armor stands. There's a training area where there's like, a couple of posts stood up surrounded by sacks that you could, beat with clubs or try the sharpness of the edge of a sword against. And inside, you don't see a person. All you hear is just beyond the front counter, the main sort of, it's barely even a counter, honestly. It's just sort of like a long table with a bunch of like random junk just like sprawled out on it. Out the back, you can see the glow and the dark end of the stone room. There's a glow of a forge there. And the sound of clanging seems to be coming from there.
Before calling them, I would just like to have a look and see if I can see any daggers currently out.
Yeah, man. Yeah, plenty just standard looking daggers just chilling on a table over there. There's a dagger that's like stuck into like a training dummy. Do you say that because you're trying to take one, or you're just checking to see?
Valor, what do you think of these blades?
Roll investigation if you like, Valorant.
Normal or advantage again?
Advantage game. I don't think there is really a skill for like checking the quality of a weapon, but investigation.
I'm not good at investigation.
Yeah, what else do you reckon it would be?
Well,
It's almost like, we could say we could just add your proficiency bonus to it.
Survival check.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Well, it's I'm a background as a soldier.
Mm.
It could just be like background gives you knowledge. It's up to you.
Yeah.
No, history. Oh.
All right, all good. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm happy to sort of hand wave it. There's no shred of finery necessarily. There's no gold, there's no gems, but you sort of pick it up, you feel the weight of it. Pristine. It is pristinely balanced. You hold like one of these daggers, you can just sort of like feel it being right in the middle. It's possibly some of the best like feeling weapons you've actually ever seen, despite how sort of, lack of polish they are. They're just well put together. Yeah.
While this is happening, can I stand at the front door and ritual cast detect magic?
You can. For 10 minutes?
Yep.
All right. What's the rest of the guys, what's the rest of the group doing while you're doing that? Just going to stand around, or are we going to call her over?
I'll just give the dagger the old spin and test.
Mhm.
Check the edge. Take it over. Is there like an anvil at the front or a metal at the front?
I don't think so. No, I think most of the working area will be out the back.
No.
There's like a armorer's hammer or something on the table if you wanted something like that.
I'll just walk over and just like slap the dagger on the hammer, make a bit of noise, and
Yeah. You hear in the back to the very balanced sound of like cling cling, and then you hear a pause for a second. Then you hear a cling 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 cling. Oh god damn it! Ah. Doof, doof, doof. Hear some footsteps coming, and out from the back you see a massive woman. Like I'm talking 7 feet tall, massively strong shoulders, burly. Comes over and looks down at you and says, customers, what can I do for you today?
I've got a friend here who's looking for a good quality dagger, and I have to say, I do appreciate the quality.
Oh, excellent. It's good to see people appreciating the fine arts. Daggers, you say? All right, well, here are daggers. And she just gestures to the daggers that you had already been picking up. 2 gold. They will be sharp for a long time. I'm trying to do a Russian accent.
Yep.
It's not working very well.
2 gold. I'll take 2 of them.
All right, you get to add 2 daggers.
Do you only do weapons? Do you do armor as well?
Yes, of course, armor. Over here. Yeah, plenty of armor.
Anything platish?
Ooh. Let's roll a d20 again. This time, let's say beat a 13 to see if there's something that will fit you already. Oh.
Jeez.
So she
Unlucky.
can kind of like measure you up and have a look. I'm afraid nothing that will fit you right now, but give me a couple weeks and we'll see what we can do.
Don't rush it. Can't guarantee I'm going to be in town for a few weeks.
You're
So-
sure? I could craft it anyway and maybe sell it to someone else.
I mean, if you've got the time and the materials.
I make armor. I like making armor.
Good. Interesting accent. You wouldn't be from the north by any chance?
Of course. Don't you see? Fine, strong blood. She pounds her chest.
Maybe you can take a look at something for me, and I will pull out the greatsword. Run by, what were they? The silver, bloody hopeless lot up in the Arbiton Quarter.
The Silver Forge. Those cocksuckers. No. Absolutely useless. You'll waste your time.
So we thought, but he did mention this might be northern make, so maybe you can take a closer
All
look at
right.
it.
Let me have a look. Pass it over. I'll roll for her as well. It's very well crafted. The balance good. Well weighted, heavy but not too heavy. Yes, indeed, this appears to be from the northern craftsmen. Let me think for a second. I wonder if I don't think she would know exactly, to be honest.
Roll.
Yeah, she rolled decently. She didn't get like a natural 20 or anything. If she got a natural 20, I was going to pretty much tell you exactly. But I would imagine if you ask around in Valoran, I'm sure you will find people that know more about this.
Would you, I think it's a maker's mark or an owner's mark?
It's classic to put the name of the owner on it. Up there, they wouldn't put the makers. No, not that sort of ego or arrogance.
Fair, fair. Well, if we ever make our way up there, we'll see. I imagine that someone or someone's family, more likely, is probably interested.
Yes, indeed. Maybe make a good bit of gold giving it back to them, eh? Make sure you bargain well.
Always try.
Yeah. All right, anything else for the rest of you?
Can I yell out while casting my ritual? I go, I need a whip.
All right, give me one moment. She goes and just, I don't know, makes one. A whip is, oh gosh, I had it open a second ago. 2 gold pieces.
Easy as. Has it been 10 minutes since they were talking about the great sword and stuff?
Yeah, let's say it has been. I don't know. I don't think there's anything magical in here. She works with metal and armor and weapons. She doesn't have time for those foolish magic-y people.
I was hoping there'd be something, a +1 weapon.
Yeah. No, you don't just find those sitting around every store.
All right, all G. Let me mark off 2 gold.
Yep. Alrighty.
Any chance you can point us to the Green Griffin? One of our friends is meeting us there.
Of course. Just follow the military way up to the north. It's about halfway along, past the main thoroughfare.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. Actually, she's a blacksmith, right?
Yeah.
Can I ask, any materials or making armor very strong, not metal?
Not metal. What do you mean? Like leather?
Like leather, scales?
Of course.
I don't know. Bone, maybe? Beasts? Any?
Why, you want to go and kill some large beast and make armor out of its skeleton?
Oh, potentially.
Tell you what, you find skeleton, bring it to me, I'll see what I can do, eh?
Alright, good. Any beast?
How fresh can the skeleton be?
Bring it to me alive, I'll help you kill it.
Maybe you come with us.
Oh, I'm much too old for that now.
All right. Any stories you hear about big, strong beasts around?
No, I work. I make weapons. No time for chatter.
Oh well, that's unfortunate. All right, thank you. We'll head to the Green Griffin.
All right. Cool. So, heading on out. By the way, her name was Ingrid, in case anyone, I assume someone had asked at some point.
I assumed it'd be something like that.
Yeah. Cool. So, yeah, blasting on up. You took the wrong turn, unfortunately, but wasn't too unfruitful. Heading back up the way you'd come, past the main thoroughfare, and then along up the military way, about halfway up on the right, you see the telltale griffin statue mounted a fairly large stone building that stands out and above the rest of them. This, if not the main headquarters of the whole continent, would be one of the largest. Excellent. Well, do you guys want to take a quick break now, or shall we chat to these guys and then maybe break after that? Or we can just keep on blasting all the way.
I'm gonna take a quick one at the moment, I guess.
Yeah, if you're keen, we'll take a quick break, 10 minutes, or 15, 10, 15.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right, well, yeah, I'm gonna grab a cup of tea, so I'll catch you guys in a bit.
Yeah, no problem.
There we go. Cool. So yeah, found your way to the Green Griffin finally, and you can make your way inside. And inside, you can see it's a bigger building than the previous ones that you've seen. There are to the sides of the room, just little sections of the room that are cornered off for a particular purpose. So there might be like an area over here where there are a few desks, some more official business. There's an area over here with some like training dummies. There are a couple of people that are currently just like tossing daggers at the dummies, just like practicing. Down the middle, there's a few log fires, and just like rooms dotted here and there. And inside, you can see there is a familiar face, a elf who is hiding his elven features behind his many layers. who is doing what? Bria, what are you doing?
Is he stealthing?
No, just found a table in a corner, back to the wall. I just see you guys walking in. I'll try and wave you over.
Oh, there you are, Rio. How did it go? Find out anything?
No, just wanted to stay out of the loop, stay out of sight.
Nah, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Do I notice a billboard around for commissions? Not commissions. What do they call them?
Like a contract board
yeah,
or something.
Yeah, contract board. Yeah.
There's in one of these like alcoves, there's a place that kind of looks like where the official business might be done. There are, desks and stuff like that with people talking around over paper, and there are pin boards and stuff like that. So yeah, you can make your way over there, if you wish.
Who wants to come with me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Currently hunched over a long desk is a burly man, late 40s, thick beard, iron grey hair. He's looking kind of tired. And he, as you come over, he just kind of looks up and, haven't seen you around here before. Can I help you with? You need any work done?
Yeah. Any open contracts around?
Oh, you're looking for work. Well, there might be a few things. We're struggling a bit at the moment with staff, but yeah, any independent contractors are always welcome to take on. Have you worked with us before?
I think so. Riv, do we have like a guild card or something like that?
You do, I believe. In Darmouth, they gave you one. Would it have been Darmouth? Might have been Kamar, actually. One or the two. You definitely have got like a letter or a card of some kind that shows the completed contracts that you've done.
Alright, I look at Valoran and Erendor and everybody and go, oh, where's our guild card?
I will reach into the bag of holding where all things that we don't know where are. Probably are.
Excellent. Yeah, he looks at it and goes, excellent. Good to see a few professionals around. You aren't, you're not permanent members though?
Not at this stage. We're a bit transient, so
Yeah, fair enough. I understand that. Well, work, I guess. Let me see if there's anything that looks like it might suit you lot. He starts rifling through. And he pulls forward a couple of things. So, this one, interesting one. There's a gold mine up to the foothills north of Valmerial. Benefactor who reached out to us mentioned that they lost contact with the mine itself. A few of their deliveries were missed or something. Apparently they sent some of their own people to go and have a look, and they never returned. So he's asking for professionals to go and check it out. Slaps that bit of paper over to the side, and this one's an interesting one. Slightly more official business, actually. This came down from the keep itself. They are curious. There was a ship, a merchant ship, found floating down the river, and it bounced off the walls of the portal itself, which is, I guess, surprising. It happens sometimes. People drunk at the wheel or not paying attention, and they ram the walls. But when they went to have a look, there was not a single person on board this ship. So people had a look, tried to figure out what was going on, couldn't find any heads or tails of it. So they once again have reached out to us to see if we can investigate and find what's going on, either determine the cause or even better, try and stop it from ever happening again. Bad for business, you see. Apparently the city wants to be known for its powerful travel along the river. If we have merchants being afraid to transit, then hurts the city in the long run.
That's very interesting. Is any other jobs pertaining to maybe hunting large beasts in the vicinity of Dalmerial?
Well, you want to go on a hunting expedition? Don't know if this is the right place for that. I think there might be some sort of hunters and trappers nearby. If you go and hit them up, I'm sure they could take you out on a deer hunting trip or something, or maybe kill some boars, but I'm afraid we don't get that sort of work here.
It's just interesting. On our way up here from Farhaven, we passed through a dark forest, and I didn't particularly encounter the beast, but I believe Rio came across some massive tracks, and I saw some sort of beastly figure like stalking our camp one night. Rio, care to describe what you found?
Yeah, there were tracks of a very large monster or creature.
You're talking about the ruins north of Farhaven, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're aware of the creatures that live there. There's all sorts. You know.
What do you know of the creatures in the dark forest?
Well, there's your a couple of your standard sort of, you know, boars and bears and that sort of thing, but there are a few more, I guess, shall we say, arcane or monstrous creatures, for lack of a better word. Let me roll for them.
My eyes perk up. Sounds exciting.
He rolled an 18. Can you describe what the tracks look to me like? And you can describe them unless you don't remember. They kind of looked like.
I'm struggling to remember, to be honest.
Yeah, they look like large sort of feline paws actually. Claws at the end, pretty decently large foot. He kind of like leans his head back and just ponders. Yeah. I have heard rumors. I don't think we've done any work there in a while, but you know, we get the odd traveler coming through. Could be that you had a close encounter with a displacer beast, to be honest.
Like, what is that? What is that?
Displacer beasts, nasty things, those things. Quite larger than your typical wolf, probably nearly horse-sized. They all play tricks on your mind. You'll think they're coming in and attacking you from one side, but really they're actually behind you, with their jaws clamped around your neck before you know it.
Wow. I guess we were lucky passing through that place.
Yeah, it is. Well, if these contracts sound good.
Gold mine sounds interesting. Privately owned?
Yeah, as far as I'm aware.
I wouldn't think the Empire would sort of let that thing out of its clutches.
Indeed, yeah. Maybe you have to take it up with the benefactor if you end up meeting him.
Is there any time frame that this job needs to be done, like quickly, or anytime?
There was a certain amount of urgency. I imagine that the lack of output is burning certain pockets. So I'm sure that the sooner the better.
Alrighty.
Personally, I've had enough of shits for quite a while.
Indeed.
True, dude.
Riv, that letter that we found that got sent through our window the night before.
Yeah.
We obviously would have it with us. Does it have any? Can I pull it out and just have a quick look at it, see if there's any symbols or anything on it?
I don't want to do that in a public place.
Like right now.
Oh, I'm not going to show the guy. I just want to have a look at it myself.
Maybe walk around the corner into a booth and do it or something.
Yeah, sure, I'll do that.
No, very simple handwriting, clean, slightly italic, but no discerning symbols or anything.
It didn't have the marker. Yeah, thought maybe it might have the Grey Griffin's mark on it or something.
Yeah, nah. It's just signed hyphen a friend.
Maybe it's magic. Maybe the paper is enchanted.
Yeah, who's running the gold mine? Who do we need to talk to get a bit more info, I guess?
Well, I'm not sure. It's not usual practice to work directly with our clients. We usually try to be a bit of an intermediary. But if you really think it would be helpful, I can potentially try and, breach the standard operating practice.
Things like gold mines mean a lot of wealth, and a lot of wealth tends to get political. Just try to keep our heads out of that.
Yeah, notice the city was kind of, I don't know, a bit strange
Tense.
towards the powers at be here.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, let me reach out. The man's name is Norak Vara. I'll get some of my people over to him to confirm that he's happy to meet with you directly, and then if you swing by, I'll arrange a meeting.
Any other information you have on the job?
It's kind of vague, to be honest. They don't know much other than they sent people to check it out and none returned. As far as I'm aware, the gold mine has been one of the main drivers of resource of wealth for a few particular families in the city. So I'm sure they're very incentivized to get it up and running again.
That sounds about right. Money drives everything. I pull out the map we have.
Mm-hmm.
Whereabouts would you say this said gold mine would be? North of the city, east of the city?
Let me draw it on your map for you.
Oh, that's like a day's ride, isn't it?
Couple.
A couple of it. Oh,
It's like nearly 100 miles out, yeah.
Yeah, Hex is 50.
Oh, yeah, it is. Sorry.
alrighty. Something to think about as we're talking. Does the Green Griffin stock supplies for adventurers like us? Say if we needed a healer's kit and things like that.
I don't think we'd have healers kits sitting around, but things like rations or any resupplies of weapons or sharpening up, your tools and all that sort of stuff. I'm sure we can help you with. Healers kit, you probably want to find a medicine store inside the city somewhere.
All right. About those trappers. Where would I find these so-called trappers? I'm guessing they'd be near the tanners as well. I suppose for ease.
The trappers. They would be further on down the military way towards the coast.
Like the way we just came back, just down from the coal.
Yeah.
The coal.
Yeah, not too far from the coal.
Might visit there later on. Maybe not today, but maybe sometime later. Unless someone wants to go down to have a look. Nope. I guess later it is.
Cool. All right. Any other business with the Griffins?
Things feel a bit tense in town.
No, you're telling me.
Griffins are a neutral party, or as neutral as they can be.
Of course. I mean, wouldn't lie when we say that I'm sure many of our members have their own sort of thoughts on the political situation, but look, we work. We work for money. We do the job. We get it done. That's what we're known for. We've always been known for that. The Empire stays out of our way. We don't take on contracts that will do something to ruffle their feathers, shall we say. It's an
That's fair. That's
unspoken arrangement.
Just trying to keep ourselves out of it. Things can get messy in those sorts of situations.
That's wise and frustrating, shall we say. You know, sometimes it feels like you want to do more, but yeah, what can there be done?
At the very least, you know, you can turn down work to deal with crowds.
That is true.
Leave that to the soldiers.
Yep. Alrighty then. Cool. So, at this point, it's probably been a good few hours now, wandering, chatting. I would say it's probably just started to hit afternoon. Is there any other sort of shopping stuff you guys wanted to do?
I talked to the party and I go, I've had some weird dreams lately. Dreams about gods or visions. I would like to head to the High Sept to figure out what this all means in relation to these new powers I've got. If you don't mind, I would like to just spend the afternoon to do some digging, do some, I don't know, understanding, finding some information about how these gods work.
Okay.
All right.
Just on that, I probably won't do. The meeting was at midnight. Where was it meant to be?
The note says Muriel's Rest.
Do we know where Muriel's Rest is?
I don't think so.
Who's the guy at the desk?
His
Wait,
name...
did we ask his name?
Yeah. And I think I told you. Oh gosh. His name is Porter Hale.
As in Porter is his first name, or that's his?
Yeah, it's his first name. Porta.
I go, hey Porter, where would we find Muriel's Rest? Just for spot of interest.
Muriel's Rest? Oh, well, it's the Royal Cemetery, just behind the keep itself.
What the hell?
You're looking for
Cemetery.
someone... Yeah. What business you planning to do there? You're looking for... Dig up any graves?
No.
Seriously, you shouldn't dig up any graves. They get a bit...
In case one of us die, we might have to write a will, you know, like, place to... you get what I mean?
Oh yeah, I'm sure I want to be buried there right beside the old ancient kings.
Oh, yeah. Well, you don't know. You don't know. We might come
Fair
across
enough. Maybe
a huge
I'm
amount of money.
standing beside royalty as we are.
Alrighty. Oh, good to know. Good to know.
I just look at the ground.
I'll meet you guys at dinner. At the River's Watch. At just before dinner. How about that?
Cool.
Sounds good.
So I trot off and at a quick jog up to the temple.
Mm-hmm. All right, cool. And the rest of you guys just sort of meandering your way back, and
if we've got time, do just a quick once over of the graveyard.
okay, fair enough.
Entrance, exits, hiding spots,
Yeah,
sniper positions.
there are. It's got a main entrance. It's surrounded by a high wall of stone. The top of the stone wall has got sharp sort of stakes sticking along it, so foot wide intervals, so fairly difficult to just sort of jump over the top. main gate entrance is open, and it does appear to be open to the public to wander in and have a look around, but there are soldiers guarding it, and not the sort of standard town guards. They look like fairly decked out soldiers with decent armor. Just two, one on either side. As you kind of are just sort of wandering past and having a look, you notice someone walks in. The guards don't necessarily stop them, but they're there. They're paying attention. It's
Are
built
you watching the inside or the outside only?
from what you can see from here. They're just standing on the outside of the wall. The wall itself is butted directly up against the side of the keep. So to get here, you would have to you'd walk fairly, nearly all the way up to the Royal Way, cut off to the right a little bit, and it's on there. It's sort of like beside the shore of the river, I suppose you could say. And then the other side of it is butted up against the keep itself. And yeah, people are just sort of wandering in and just sort of checking things out. It's not necessarily like the sort of place that they'll just let any sort of like rabble in. The people that are wandering around seem to be dressed quite nicely, nobles' clothes and stuff like that. Yeah.
Just gonna spend a little bit of time just getting a bit of a feel for the area.
Mhm.
Gonna come to a surprise meeting. It's better to not be completely blind.
Yeah, you can look around. There are a few, there are a few sort of plots and stuff like that of just your standard headstones. There are a couple of fairly large, like sort of mausoleum-looking buildings, like I don't know if you call it a mausoleum, like a crypt or something. Large stone building dedicated. Anyway, there's a few of those.
Did the guards let us in, or we haven't walked in yet?
If you wanted to walk in, you can try.
Those famous
Yeah.
words.
Everyone's walking around.
Yeah.
Go have a look.
Before we get close, I'd just tap Valorant. Hey, if we can get in there, I'm gonna. How do people pretend to? How do people pray? Like, what do they do when they're praying? I want to make it pretend to look like that. I want to ritually cast something when we get in there.
Wouldn't have the foggiest. Not really the praying type. And any praying I'm usually doing is probably got a few more swear words in it than what these people use.
Yeah. Erindor, any idea?
Don't ask me.
Shit. All right.
Sure, you can spot someone and copy him.
Yeah, that's the idea. That's the thought. Yeah. All right, I'll follow your lead.
Cool. So if you, so we're gonna head on in.
Mhm.
All right. They don't stop you. They do glance at you and kind of look over and just say, "Haven't seen you guys around before. Well, what's your business?"
New to the city. We're here. There's a bit of something to see.
Okay, fair enough.
Be a place.
Don't touch anything. Don't make any disturbance. Be respectful, and we won't have any trouble.
Fair enough.
He nods and goes back to his attention. You can float on past. And yeah, as described, just lots of plots. There's like a nice big tree kind of built in the center that's larger than any of the other small bushes around, and shadows, a few dozen feet in any direction. Yeah. Is there anything specific you guys are looking for?
What time of the day?
I'd say it's starting to get towards afternoon now, early afternoon.
I'm assuming whatever meeting will probably be central, so are we going to be able to be crept up on by a big force? Just looking for ambush points, see how open it is, kind of thing.
Yeah, cool. So there does not appear to be any other entrance to the cemetery itself. Enclosed wall, apart from that single main entrance. Looking around, there's nothing on the wall of the keep that looks like, there's no like windows or like arrow holes or anything like that point out into the cemetery. There's a few of those larger buildings that I mentioned that are like well blocked off, with stone, like I don't know, whatever you call it, out the front. But yeah, I mean, people could hide probably in amongst the graves themselves. But yeah,
Only one way in and out. Not a fan of that. I'll have to keep that in mind. On the flip side, it means it's only one way in and out for whoever's meeting us as well. So we should have a bit of warning.
Do I notice anyone, like, I doubt my guy knows what praying is, but does I notice know what it is, or can I get the gist of it looking around?
yeah, sure. Let's roll a perception check. See what you can see. Cool. Yeah, they're a group of 3 people dressed in quite fine red robes, matching. Just sort of gathered around one particular cemetery, just sort of all bowing their heads, hands together.
Cool. I'd like to try and find one that's towards the side, as far away from the guards as I can.
Yep.
And copy the stance and ritually cast detect magic.
All right.
While Vale's investigating.
Yeah. Why don't we do a... Do you want to do a deception or a stealth?
Deception, stealth. I'd much rather do stealth.
All right.
You want me to roll a stealth check?
Yeah, man. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty good. So, detect magic is what you said you're casting, eh?
Please.
Big air effect comes around you, and you start to feel like you can reach out and grab the weaves of magic that might be floating around. There doesn't immediately appear to be anything in your vicinity. What's your plan here? Are you just sort of going to wander around and see if you can see anything, or...?
I'll wander around, see if there's anything. I'm looking for like magical traps.
Oh, yeah?
Like, I doubt there'd be any now, but I thought I'd give the place a once-over if I could.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Definitely no traps. Nothing like that seems to be, like, listed.
Also, as I walk past people, to try and see if I can get a sense of how much magical stuff coming off people as there are.
Yeah.
I don't need to get too close to them. Like I say, 20, 30 feet away to
Yeah.
still feel it.
Yeah, so one of those 3, if you wandered past them, one of those 3 seemed to be having a bit of a tinge of magic maybe coming off them. Other than that, nothing really, really sticks out. Let's go, so are you going to do like a big sweep of the whole grounds, do you think?
Or definitely around the entrance. You said there were a couple of crypts, so I'd try and stick my head into the crypts because
There'll be
a foot of stone blocks the spell.
So yeah, well, so the stone, like you won't be able to get into the crypt itself. It's like well blocked off.
You can't. These aren't open. That people can look in
nah.
and
They've
space or
got
anything
stone
like that.
doors.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Well, then just walk around, get the entrance, get anyone that's inside, and this says I can. I learn the school of magic, if any.
All right, cool. Roll an investigation check for me. All right.
Wow.
Yeah. Rio's picking up the rolls. So you kind of do a good sweep. The crypts themselves, you don't detect anything around them. I don't think the detect magic goes through the stone, so if there's anything inside, you wouldn't know.
Can't pierce a foot of stone.
Yeah. You kind of start sweeping your way back and forth around the different tombs and headstones and stuff like that. You nearly get ready to kind of give up, thinking that maybe there's nothing around. But as you're down near the shoreline of the river, you get a little ting. You get a little bead of energy on just a random small headstone. And if you head over, you can see there's a tombstone there, and it's got like like one of those the borders of a grave with concrete and a little bit of metal and wire like, what do you call it? You know, like those weave wire bars that kind of surround it. It's not going to stop you from like getting in. You could just like step over it, but it's just kind of more there to like block off the area. This is a gravesite. Don't stand on it. Yeah, and there's a tinge of magic beneath the headstone. You can see there are a few pots of like now withered flowers, and the headstone itself says almond Aris or something like that. Yep, let's go with that, almond Aris. And the magic that you're detecting is just beside the flowers.
Can I see or tell what is exactly the item is? Like, is there a ring, or is there something on the ground, or?
There's something, yeah, you can see something there. Some very small. You probably have to get a bit closer to see exactly what it is, which would involve stepping over.
Sorry, were these flowers like locked in anything, or were they just placed there, basically?
They're set in small stone vases that kind of look like permanent fixtures that, you know, you'll place and leave them there 24/7.
Wonderful. I'm going to use my mage hand to discreetly move them away, keeping them low to the ground, move them 20, 30 foot away from the ground.
Moving the flowers away?
Yep, just
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, moving it away from the grave so it's not obvious that we're touching anything from it.
Okay. Puppy doesn't like the sound of you using mage hand.
Does not.
Okay, cool. So the flowers can move to the side and get floated away. I guess now you can see like a bit better. Maybe now that the flowers are gone, you can see more easily or something. There's a small object just sitting there at the base of the tombstone, at the headstone rather.
Aaron, are we next to each other? Are we next to each other right now, I'm guessing?
Roll a
Rib, I guess.
perception. Roll a perception check.
I mean, you can be if you want to be, yeah.
I wave Aaron Door over and I'm like, hey, there's something there. And I point at it so he can use his mage hand to move it.
I would assume if he's using the mage hand to move the flowers to disclose the object you detected, then you would have had to tell him about the object that you detected.
All right. Can I tell what school it is, Riv?
Yeah. It will be... Gosh, the magic items are so fucking annoying because it doesn't say what school of magic they are, and then people who cast detect magic always ask for it. It'll be like, I don't know, shall we say conjuration or transmutation, something like that.
Alright, so
Transmutation. Let's go transmutation. Yeah.
Okay, so not explosive.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be explosive. Just see if you can dig there and see what it is, so we don't have to step over this thing.
I don't think he has to dig.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a little item.
You can see it. You can
It's just
see
sitting
it.
there. You can see it.
Yep, I'm just going to use the mage hand to just give it to him.
All right. Your mage hand's invisible, eh?
Invisible mage hand.
Yeah. All right, cool. Easy. I won't even need a stealth then. So
Zoop.
you see this item just start floating in your direction, Rio.
Pick it up and put it in my hands and try and figure out what it is.
Cool. It looks like a dice.
Dice.
6-sided dice.
Pop it in my pocket for now.
Cool. All right. Any other graves you wish to rob?
Sorry, I need to handle Poppy back.
Well, my idea for doing this was to, I know it's silly, but to see if I find anything that could be like a trap or anything like that. So
Yeah, of course.
So
Aaron.
there's the entrance, Riv, and then there's a fence along the shoreline.
Mm-hmm.
How big of a fence? What type of fence we talking?
Stone wall, 15 feet high, metal, like sort of spearheads, like stakes, like at foot intervals along the top of the stone wall. And it completely surrounds the whole cemetery.
Go to Valorant. They probably close this place up at night. We can probably hop the fence here from the riverside if there's nothing on the other side.
Sorry, I'm eating at the moment.
Okay, sorry, I'm back.
Aaron Dawes playing with the dog in the cemetery.
Riv, other than that, you said the group of three. Also, I got a ping from them as well.
Yeah, it seemed like one of the person was giving off a bit of a magic aura.
And they're wearing, you said, robes and stuff?
Yeah, they were all wearing quite nice nobles' robes.
Can I try and get in front, so like around in front of them, so I'd be able to try and see their face and indiscreetly try and see what they look like?
Yeah, sure. I'll need. Do you? Yeah. Okay. Roll a self check for me. Assuming you don't want them to sort of notice you.
Yeah, if I can stay away from it.
Yeah. You'll have to like cross a path beyond the grave that they're currently standing around.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and make a wide berth around them.
Mm-hmm.
Get 30 foot in front of them, and then look back and try and figure out what they're doing or what they look like.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Yeah, they don't notice you. Their heads are all bowed. There are two women, one man. Sort of, I would say they look like around maybe their 30s, something like that. Brown hair, gentle features. Doesn't look like they've spent a lot of time doing hard work. Yeah, is there any sort of specifics you're after?
Just trying to see if I can get the impression that they might be the type that would fire arrows into hotel bedrooms to get people's attentions.
Yeah, probably definitely not. They look like they've probably never touched a weapon in their life. Yeah. Cool.
Alright, rejoin the other two.
Sweet as. Anything else to check out, or we good?
Valorant, if you were to have a meeting in this place, where any idea where you'd hide or where you'd wait for them?
Sorry, still eating.
Erindor, where would you hide in an area like this? What would you do?
Look, I mean, personally, I'd be in the tree.
Yeah, I was thinking either a tree or, up against the wall in the darkest spot in the corner, with stuff in front of me. I open my bag and just show something to Erindor. Well, I got one of these. Point at the dynamite arrow. You reckon it might be worth
Concerning.
And I pull out like the 15-foot fuse. Like, I could hide one of these here somewhere that you think they might be, and with the fuse line, try and if we need it. If not that one, I pull out the smoke arrow. I point at the smoke arrow powder. I'm like, this should just make a lot of smoke. It shouldn't make a burn.
So, you know this mage hand that I've got, and the tinderbox
Actually,
that I have.
I take it back. The second one makes a big boom.
We could certainly leave the arrow somewhere, and as long as I know where it is, I can light that at a moment's notice.
Ah, that's an even better idea than I was thinking. You think it's worth doing in places where they might hide, or at the entrance, if we can hide them with the guards?
Look, I feel it might be a bit cruel to put it on the guard's person, but
Oh, no, I was thinking more like, 5 foot from the entrance on the inside. or 10, something like that. The first grave, hide it next to the first gravestone at the entrance. So as they walk in, if we don't like them,
If you want to hide it somewhere, just tell me where it is. I don't want to be too close to it when it goes back.
oh, I don't want any of us to be too close to it when it goes back, but I just don't trust many people. You guys are the exception at the moment.
That's a mistake. Potential.
Should I not trust you?
I didn't say me. Is that a stinking dwarf sometime? Don't need any more fireballs thrown at me.
Yeah, I don't like his some of his comments. But he's not here, so yeah.
I like how the man is saying he doesn't trust anyone is staging a plan to bomb what is the equivalent of a national war memorial.
Just the people that have that told us to come here. Oh, maybe I'll put them back. I'll just leave them in my bag for now.
Might be a good idea for now.
Just said they were a friend.
I really don't want to get caught again, so
Let's blow them up.
contingencies.
Fair enough.
Alright, well then I'm out of ideas. Whatever you two want to do.
I think if it was a major trap, then they would have just jumped us in the pub on the first night.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, if that's it, then maybe we should have a look on the other side of this wall, see if we can enter from there if we need to. I'm assuming they lock this place up at night.
Sweet.
Good point.
Yeah. Did you want to go around back to the outside or something to have a look at it, or look from this side?
Well, we looked from this side. You said it was a 15-foot wall with spikes at the top, but there are slots on there. Are those slots would we hurt ourselves jumping them, or is there enough to get over? Or
If you fell awkwardly on them, yeah, you'll get a little bit of stab. I'm just thinking, 15 feet. That's quite tall. It's probably more like 10 feet. It's not a short wall that you could just sort of hop over quite easily, but it's not 15 feet is really, really tall. So we'll say 10 feet. But yeah, it's the sort of thing where you definitely you couldn't just scale it easily. You'd need to do something out of the ordinary to get over the top. And if you muck something up, you could fall onto the spikes themselves.
we'll be fine on that. I've got that covered.
Cool.
We do have a normal rope as well, don't we? Ooh, oh yes, I do. Good.
All right.
Yeah, guys, maybe we should investigate the other side of the wall, see if we can use it to get in or not. Hate to have that be our plan, and there's a house on the other side and people in the backyard, and I don't know.
Good point. Good point.
Cool. So you mean you want to have a look at the outer wall?
Yeah, you said there's a wall running along a river.
Yeah. So I guess imagine. I'm gonna do a little drawing over here. If this is the main river, the Luminor River, the keep is here. This is the Royal Way. The cemetery, Muriel's Rest, is like this. Goes down to the shore of the river, and this is the wall that kind of encloses this area like that, and on the other side as well. So it makes sense, and your entrance will be something like this.
That's the entrance where the two guards are at.
Yeah.
Yeah, so to get in, our choices are either through that entrance or to hop the wall on one of those three sides.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm assuming there's a street on the entrance side and probably buildings on the rear wall side, because there's a keep on this side. on the on this side here. So our only other real good point to get in would be over here via the water.
Cool. Should we ponder it anyway?
You two okay with that?
As we're leaving, I'm just going to ask the guards if it's open at night.
Yep, it's open 24/7.
So on your way out, mention to them. Yeah, they say, no, we clear everyone out. We make sure that any of the final guests have done their bit and left, and then we close it up, and a few of us stationed will patrol. But no, people aren't allowed inside at night time.
Not even if I wanted to sneak up a new recruit and give him a bit of a scare.
Well, sure, we can maybe arrange something, but nah, better not. I mean, talk to the governor directly. If you want to have a nighttime viewing, I'm sure he could arrange something for you.
I don't know. I don't really think the governor's going to be meeting me anytime soon.
Probably right.
Wait.
Cool. Alrighty. So if we head off, I guess you guys just sort of heading back to the tavern at this point.
Yeah.
Sorry, got side quest. Was there anything on the outside? Like, is it easy to get in from there, or?
From the riverside?
Yeah.
It's up against the river, so probably a bit more tricky, but less visible.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. Cool.
Shall we go get some dinner, guys?
Yeah. We
Probably should.
call it for the night and then head back here early before the meeting. And whether or not the guards are still stationed will give us a rough idea of the kind of person we're meeting.
Mm-hmm. All right, sweet. Cool. Heading your way back. Shall we? You guys good to go for like another half an hour or so, half hour? Or do you want to finish pretty soon?
I'm cool to go for half an hour or 20 minutes, whatever, something short.
I'm good.
Yeah. It depends on what we're going to do with it.
Yeah.
Like we're pausing in the middle of a thing, then maybe not.
Yeah, I guess we could do Kai's thing at the sept.
No, yeah, yep.
Okay. All right, cool. So Kai, you make your way alone this time. Maybe you passed Dondo on the street and don't recognize him, or maybe you do recognize him.
I'm
say
sure I
hello.
would have, with my perception, I would have noticed a short dwarf amongst the crowd.
Carrying a broken stool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on his back.
Yeah, cool. But yeah, heading over to the Divine Way and up and along it. Really, really nice buildings, like I mentioned earlier. A lot of reverence, a lot of people, a lot more quiet in this part of the city. People are, taking their time and very contemplative, it seems. You pass one massive looking building that has a big stone tablet on the front with a scroll. And past that, up ahead of you. Sorry, did you say something?
Do I notice any statues on the one along the way to the high sept?
There might be the odd sort of like generic statue on some of the buildings themselves.
Alright.
Yeah.
Can I duck to the side, quickly pull out my vestments that's in my bag, my pack, just like quickly chuck it on.
Your what? Sorry.
It says I've got vestments, as in
Vestments. Oh, like
religious
your-
clothing.
Yeah,
like
I
priest
guess-
clothing.
Yeah, you would start with a cleric's pack or something, right?
Yeah.
Although you didn't start as a cleric.
I know, but I don't know how I've got these in my
I think
starter pack. In my starter
Yeah,
pack.
it probably would have been added. Would have been added when you took the level up.
All right, you know what?
You tell me. Do you think that Kai would have got it at some point along the trip? Because he started off as a druid and then he started getting dreams. So if you think it makes
Probably,
sense.
probably not. Probably not. I'm just gonna rock up in my hide to the high set.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
It's very unlikely I would have gone to buy some vestments because I'm not sure yet.
Yeah. Fair enough. Cool.
I'll just quickly delete that off my sheet thing.
Yeah, makes sense. Excellent. So the way itself eventually starts steepening, and at the end there is a long set of stairs, like maybe that goes up 100 or so feet, and you can make your way up. And the higher up you get, the better view of the city, and eventually at the top of the hill, there stands the Sept itself, massive building. Up this close, you can see there are 7 ginormous statues surrounding the big front area. The entrance is a large stone arch directly behind the center statue. And there are people milling about. A few people are just sort of standing beneath the statues, just sort of gazing up. That's
All
what
right.
you see.
Gazing at the 7 statues,
Mhm.
I look down at my right hand that
Yep.
has the sigil.
Yep.
Do I feel anything resonate with me?
Yeah, why don't you roll either a religion or a perception check?
Yes, perception. It is. Actually, you know what? I'll do religion. I'll do.
Cool. So that symbol you do find on one of the statues. So they're arranged, in a like half semicircle sort of thing, like in a curved line. Not the center statue, but the one to the right of the center statue is a tall-looking man, potentially a half elf, just based on the figures of the statue itself. Arm raised up towards the sky, very, very calm demeanor, serene. That's looks like he has a grand knowledge and vision of the world. And the symbol that you see is kind of like it's like that teardrop, I think, that we've talked about before, where it's sort of like this. So it's sort of like a teardrop, and then there's a dot in the middle. Oh gosh.
Oh yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah, that one. So that's there. And you can see that. Yeah, that is emblazoned on his clothing. His robe has that as like a symbol right in the center of it.
Okay. So, do I notice? Is there any plaques near the statue? On the statue, or it's just one of
Yeah.
those?
At the base of it, there is. It says Alaris Moonsong.
Ilaris Moonsong. That statue's male, right? Or is it?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Do I notice anyone around this statue?
No one directly nearby. There are a few people are off to the side.
Are they just chatting? They're not doing any religious stuff?
Yeah, just wandering past. I will mention you've seen the statue before. You went to the cathedral in Darmouth, I think, and it's the same figure was there.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. I would like to have a look around and see if there's any high priest or some sort of reception desk or something.
Mm-hmm. So you want to go
Sure.
inside?
Yes. Oh, this is on the outside.
Yeah, this is outside. These statues are sort of almost like forming a protective barrier towards the building itself. The building is behind.
Alright, I place my my right hand on the statue, look up at the statue and give it a nod,
Mm-hmm.
and then I walk in.
Okay, cool. Heading on in, the inside of the building is just as majestic as the outside. The first chamber is a circular chamber that seems, as you look left and right, to encircle the entire building itself. It goes off and curves beyond where your sight can see, but you would assume that it must carry on all the way around. There are entrances inside the far wall on the inner part of this wall. On the inner part of this chamber, there are entrances, 7 of them, and each entrance denotes one of the 7 gods. The section of the wall of the inner part of the chamber is sort of dedicated to that god, and the iconography of that god would be above the door. So if you were a devout follower of one of these gods, you would come in, you would probably spend more of your time in that particular section, and if you wished to head into the main central chamber, you would pass through the door of your god. The inner chamber itself has these little smaller altars and little alcoves, little places where there are a bunch of candles set up that people will be gathered around in prayer. There are small praying desks and cushions that people can be sitting on. And sort of each one is slightly styled to the particular god of the section of the circular chamber that it belongs to. As you walk in, the first door directly in front of you appears to be a different god, not Alaris. But if you want to go looking for Alaris, you can.
Yeah, I'd like to walk past each main door.
Yeah.
And scribble down the name of each god.
Yeah.
In my notebook, just
Cool.
for reference.
So you want to do like a big loop all the way around?
Yeah. You can just DM me the names later.
Cool. You don't want me to just like rattle them off to you super quickly and you just have to memorize them for all.
Nah.
Yeah, cool. I'll read them out because I don't know if people are interested. So the main god, and this is, it's not like this is hidden knowledge. Like these are the 7 gods of the realm. The god of the arcane is Eldrin Starweaver, and as you kind of head around in a circle, Alaris Moonsong, god of the moon, Maris Wavecaller, god of the seas and water, Gale Winddancer, Torgar Earthshaker, Azara Flametongue, and Seraphina Dawnbreaker, god of the sun, goddess of the sun. When as you're passing through the, let's say you do like a full loop and you come back and you circle back to the, well, actually I shouldn't say what you want to do. What do you want to do?
All right. Looking at those symbols and remembering from the very first time we came across that ancient temple where the hobgoblins mission.
Mm-hmm.
Do I recognize any symbols relating to the first god you talked about, Eldrin Starweaver?
That is an excellent question. Give me...
Roll a religion check.
Yeah.
No, would it be history? If it's going back? Because I don't know him, but I remember.
I think it's probably more of like an intelligence thing to see if you can recall it. Roll either history or intelligence.
I say Kaya's got really, really dumb, so.
I'm just also looking at my notes because I know I had written it down. Okay, cool. And gosh, where are they? There we go. Excellent. All right, cool. Yeah, you do. In fact, it is the same iconography as Eldrin Starweaver.
I shake my head and go, "You're a very tricky god. Really tricky god. Nearly died because of you."
The statue doesn't respond.
I just chuckle and I go back to the door where I find Alaris Moonsong chamber.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. So let me tell you about this. So there's a main altar that there's a smaller size statue, and in each of these sections there's an altar beneath the statue here. But in front of this altar, the one dedicated to the moon god, there's a display cabinet, and there are people also sort of building around as well. It's not like you're completely alone. If you wander over to the display cabinet and have a look inside, it's not hidden, it's not secret or anything. There, sitting on a nice little grey cushion, is a small little gem, sort of grey, faintly glowing, and it looks very, very familiar to you.
I pull out my gem that's in my bag and compare it.
They look pretty much the same, yeah.
Same stone.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
As you pull it
Um,
out, are you doing it like secretly, or are you just like holding it out
Just like opening the bag, like
to look at?
gently and peeking in.
Yeah,
and,
okay,
and looking
okay,
at it
cool.
and comparing and go,
Yeah, fair enough. Cool. As you're sort of standing there and looking at this, you hear a couple of gentle footsteps come up behind you, and you hear a voice and say, "Oh yes, you're interested in the Moonsong, are you? It's quite a nice place we got here, isn't it?" This is one of
Moonstone, you say?
yes,
well,
the Moonstone of.
I love
You're interested in it, are you? You turn around and see super old dude, like ancient. He's hunched over, long wispy white beard, half moon spectacles on the end of his nose, sort of leaning on his staff.
I go, it's a pretty rock. Who may you be?
Oh, I am High Priest Oldir. You could say that I take care of all of our patrons here.
Old dear, like oh dear.
Oldir,
Okay.
OLLDIR.
Okay.
Old dear. Oh no.
Sorry. I'm just too used to being in the woods. Is there anyone else about in this chamber? Or is it just? Oh,
Yeah,
there's two
it's-
sets of steps, right?
No, so you're still in the main circular outer chamber that sort of encloses the central chamber. There are 7 doors on the inner wall that lead down into the central chamber, but if you were sort of circling to have a look, you would still be on the outer chamber. And this is just an open area. It's just like one big long hallway, I guess. And there are a few people
Alright.
around. Yeah, there are a few people around, people chilling.
Alright, can I see what he's wearing? Like his robes?
Yeah, nice,
They-
clean white robes. Yeah.
Any sigils on his robes donating, or is it just plain priest robes?
Well, he's wearing all 7. Sort of
All
like
7.
yeah,
Okay.
patterned down each arm. And he's leaning over. He's like, "Yes, it's quite a nice little piece that we found quite some time ago. You heard the stories about it, I assume. I assume that'd be why you come to look at it.
I was more interested in the god here. Do you have a place where we can speak more privately?
Of course. I mean, what do you wish to discuss? Everyone here is friends. Is there anything in particular?
Let's just say more personal issues.
Very well. Why don't we go? Why don't we go to my chambers? Are you looking for a confessional or more of a discussion?
Discussion. Just a private room.
Okay. Fair enough. He can lead you back around the hall to the back side of the building, and out the back there is a room or a door that leads to another a sort of closed off area of the building that the public isn't generally welcome to come to, but it seems apparently he's okay with taking people in to discuss things. Yeah. And then inside he takes you to, I guess, potentially what looks like his chamber, his place where he would work, maybe. There's a simple desk, bookshelves, a few books lined up. Again, inside here you can see iconography of all 7 of the gods. He comes in, sits down behind his desk and sort of gestures you to sit down in one of the chairs nearby.
Alright, before I sit down, I take off my left glove, and
Okay.
then I cast my styrofoam in chalice mode.
Mm. The symbols blaze up around your arms. And he's just sort of, now that is interesting.
And then I take off my right glove, and then hold up my right hand, and I say, I don't know if I've been blessed or cursed by the gods, as it appears they have come to see me more than once.
He's stunned. You can see him just sitting there, just sort of taking this in. And he slowly rises, and just looks at you. Who are you?
I'm a mere mortal. I'm a mere mortal, and I diffuse my what's it called, my styrofoam.
You bring evil. You bring evil. You bring evil into the sept. Get out. Get out. Out with you. I've got nothing else to say.
You can't help me.
You've been touched. You've been touched by the Dark Lady herself.
Do you have information about? What about the other? What about my right hand?
He's really not keen to talk. He's quite stunned. He's quite taken aback. A stranger walks into the cathedral, stands in front of like a holy artifact, and then just like us to, I don't know, have a conversation, and just shows him this clearly very, very unusual iconography. I'm gonna need like a persuasion check or something, because he's at this point he wants you gone. He doesn't know what the fuck. Well, as far as you're concerned, yeah.
Right. Okay. Persuasion.
Roll a persuasion check to see if you can bring him back around. Oh wow, interesting. I rolled a 14 as well.
I ask, have you seen this before?
I've only heard stories.
Are there texts in this great temple of past of the gods?
Before I answer any more questions, I need you to tell me something. When was the last time you killed a man?
A man? Let me think. Well, in defense or on purpose? In defense, I would say maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago.
You say that like someone who does that fairly often. Most people that you'd ask would say, I've never killed someone. But-
You wanted honesty.
Indeed. How did it make you feel?
Well, you see, my family and my surrogate family were killed by people, so it makes me angry. And so when people do me wrong, I like to return the favor.
It sounds exactly like what I would expect, seeing what I saw. How long has it been since these symbols have been appearing?
I hold up my right hand. Well, this one was the first maybe a month ago, and it seems to have given me powers of healing. Whereas recently, I think maybe just less than a week, and I raised my left hand
Hmm.
not so long ago. It's changed. So I did see a very seductive goddess not so long ago. I'm unsure of who she is, but from what you tell me, she is evil, or the Lady of Darkness, or whatever you call her.
Final question. What face do you commonly see when you sleep?
I don't know. What do you mean?
You tell me?
As in, most often, occasionally, I have these dreams. These dreams of a lady bathed in luminous white glow. Usually, usually, most of the time.
He leans back. He leans back and crosses his arms and just looks up at the ceiling. Just shakes his head a bit. Gosh. I assume, based on the way you're speaking, that you're not exactly a pious person. You haven't been following the gods for your life for many years.
Well, you see, I'm only 17, so I've not been alive that long.
Fair enough. It's hard to tell sometimes. Goodness me. What I'm about to tell you cannot leave these walls. Do you promise?
The best to my ability.
I believe that you have been seeing the true goddess of the moon herself, Seluna, Lady of Night. To even speak of her is heresy. Obviously, where we are right now, this high sept of the seven, the pantheon of the land, it's not true. The gods you see around us, the gods that the people pray to every day, they're not, let's say,
Chosen
they're not
ones?
fake. They're not unreal. They're not entirely facades, but they are followers of the true gods, or they were at one point in history. Some thousands of years ago, great champions rose up and were selected by the gods and were bestowed great powers upon them. They became near godlike themselves, but not truly gods. And over time, people forgot. People worshipped these larger-than-life heroes directly, and eventually the original gods themselves just faded from memory. Very few know of this, and even fewer speak of it because of the heresy that might come from that. My pastors, caretaker of the sept, the followers before me have all passed down this knowledge, and I believe now I pass it to you because you have been touched by one of the true gods themselves. It is not something that happens very often.
I see. Are there no ancient texts that note the old gods?
None that you would commonly find.
I see. So this the old gods coming through. Well, I put my gloves back on.
So, the reason why I'm telling you this, obviously you've been touched by Seluna herself. The bit that scares me, my immediate reaction was due to the fact of that. And as you're putting your glove on your other hand to cover up the black, he just points to it. Selena has a sister, and it appears that she also has taken interest in you. Her sister just seeks to spread darkness and vengeance and suffering throughout the world, and if she has taken a liking to you, then there must be a reason.
Interesting. So if I... How smart would you say I am? As in Kai, not me.
What's your intelligence? +1. You're slightly
Yeah.
above average.
Alright. I ask, has anyone played the gods before?
Played the gods. What do you mean by that?
As in, trying to use the gods for their own benefits, you could say, and if there were any stories of what happened to them and the repercussions.
Nothing that comes to mind. I guess you could say that the original champions themselves play the gods in some sense. They would, and supposedly just like anyone else, like every other people, who somehow convinced or persuaded the gods to grant upon them powers that they could use for some purpose. Some of them may have used subterfuge to trick the gods. Who really knows? But let's just say that the gods are not to be trifled with. They can look into your very heart. They know what you're feeling. They know what your desires are, and that's why I fear. That's why I feared you, because it seems that you may have a desire, a lust for suffering and vengeance yourself.
For now, I sort of still do. I shall see. I shall see how things go. Alright, I get up to leave. I go, thank you for your time. Your secret is safe. And I pull out my coin purse and I give him 10 gold. A donation to the old gods and the new.
I cannot take it. Once you've chosen your path, come back and see me. One way or the other.
I nod and go, may the gods be with you.
And you. I hope your soul stays safe.
And I'm gone.
You're gone. All right. Straight out, or did you want to explore a bit more around the sept?
Nah, I think I'm done. Yes.
Cool. Okay. So I assume you probably want to start heading back towards the tavern, yeah?
Yeah, head straight back to the River's Watch.
Cool. Sweet. Seems like a good place to pause there. And I guess I'll just ask, what's Kai thinking after that whole interaction?
Still confused. Need
Yeah?
more information. But at least I know that there is a dark god, and now I've got two godly girlfriends. You know.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Does it knowing that the people have been sort of bought in by a con, and that there may be more gods than they even realize?
That is really interesting, and it's really surprising.
Yeah.
But I don't say anything to anyone because everyone just believes that the current gods are the one and only.
How would someone even respond to that information? Like, the only reason why you could possibly kind of take that on realistically is because you've literally seen them yourself. But like, if the gods, they're real things. They interact with people. Clerics cast magic, and so it's not like this is a world where people are skeptical about whether or not gods are real. They are real, and if it just comes out that there is been this subterfuge, it'd be kind of earth-shattering, right?
Yeah, it's kind of staggering. It's kind of crazy. Like, I'd have to speak to other clerics to see how they use their magical means, of casting, and their belief, because it feels like they're just casting their belief to sub gods who are worshipped, who had worshipped the original gods. So it's kind of like, I wonder if the spell casting is weaker, or if like there's a difference in power. I'm not too sure. It sounds very complicated.
All right, cool. Cool. Well, let's pause there, eh, guys? Is everyone else awake still? Sorry about that. We're in a little bit long.
Yeah.
Sweet. Anything else that anyone wanted to do before we call it?
No, I got my dagger. That's all I wanted.
Yeah. Nice.
Set up a nuke at the graveyard.
Oh yeah, that's when I do head back to the Rivers Watch. I go find the guys and they can give me the download on what's happened.
Yeah. Let's just pause here because
Yeah, for next time.
yeah, we'll pick up from here when we get into it. Maybe you guys are all about to get killed or something, or maybe the Rivers Watch is blown up and gone, and who knows. JC, remember to add that dice to your inventory.
Yeah, I've put it in my notes. I haven't added it to my inventory yet, though, because I wasn't sure if it's just a normal dice or whether it needs to be something specific. Obviously, my guy doesn't know what it would be, so...
Yeah. It looks like a normal dice. It's just glowing magically.
What's it, Kiwi's
Magical loaded dice, because this guy was a gambler.
Yeah, I've got a feeling these are going to end up with you, man. I want cards. Yeah, has Kiwi learned, what's it called? I know it's I can't remember.
Identify.
That's the one.
Yes, he
yes.
has.
I'll have to throw it his way when I see him, when we have time.
Cool. All right. Sweet, guys. I guess it was kind of crazy. It was crazy. So yeah, when...
You want me to add it from the SRD content, yeah? Not from D&D Beyond?
From D&D Beyond usually is better.
Cool, sorry.
All good. Cool, sweet as. All right, well, I think hopefully Kiwi should be back, a couple of weekends from now. The CrowdStrike stuff has really messed up my work schedule, so I don't actually know what weekends I've got working coming up, so I'll just have to let you guys know when I can and can't do stuff, because
Have they fixed it yet?
pretty wacky.
For your work? Or is it still
Yeah, so
messed up?
our production stuff is back online as far as I'm aware, but yeah, the problematic thing is that, like, you know, we would have had 3 or 4 releases planned for this weekend. They all got cancelled and pushed to whenever, but all the other weekends also have releases that have already been scheduled for months and months, and so it's going to be kind of chocker and hectic for ages now, so,
Backlog.
yeah, pretty much. So yeah, it's going to be a hard thing to navigate. So I've got no idea what my schedule now looks like, but all good. Hopefully I'll figure out this week, and yeah, we'll give you guys a heads up. Yeah, cool. All right. Easy as. It does us.
Cool. Sorry again, all.